And we're live.
Okay.
Peter Simpson, one of the mainstays of the Ail Sail, if I might say.
Well, I don't know about that, but
also not only a captain, skipper of his own boat, but also involved in training and professional cruises, if I may say, as well as a guy that knows various ports of the world. Would that be fair to utter?
That's
just go ahead. This is a working boat.
Probably fair to utter that, I think.
Okay.
You can working boat. Mike's going to be fixing the sails.
Oh, I'll catch that on video as well. Are you going up the bosun's chair?
I don't have to get that far up.
Thank goodness. Carry on, mates. So, Peter, how did you find Ail Sail, or did it find you?
I think I found it in 2001 or 2, I think. And,
okay.
And through Neil Watson.
Yes.
Neil said, "Why don't you come on this thing?" And
how did
I
you
came
know?
for about three years, and then I got my own boat and sort of sailed off of it for a few years.
Oh, you're with Neil in the beginning then?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. What was I on? Let me think.
Perhaps Stu or Grant?
No.
Or?
No. Who did I sail? Oh, charter boats.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of charter boats.
Okay.
At the beginning. So, yeah.
When did you first get started in sailing yourself?
4 years of age in New Zealand.
All right.
New Zealand, a little tyke sailing little dinghies. Dinghies called flying ants. Progressed up to flying 15s. Various, sailing dinghies.
That is the way to learn, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to know where the breeze was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And
North or South Island for you?
North Island, out of Auckland.
Okay.
Auckland in New Zealand is really the kind of sailing capital of New Zealand.
So you have salt water running through your blood.
Right.
Grab a seat, Jeff.
My parents used to have this unbelievable house that was, it had a it actually had a 180-degree view of the ocean.
I'll warn you,
but
you're on camera.
But
yep.
When some people chopped down some big trees over to the right, we then had a 220-degree view of the ocean.
Oh, nice.
Up nice and high, right, unparalleled, beautiful view, And we looked right across to Rangitoto. If you know Auckland Harbour at all, there's a volcano.
I'd love to.
There's a volcano in just out in the Hauraki Gulf called Rangitoto, and it's a great hike up this kind of volcano, and it has a couple of humps, and it's very kind of unique, and it's one of, I think it's about 7 to 10 volcanoes in the Auckland area.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up at a beach called Castor Bay next to the Milford Marina, and I sailed as a kid from...
How did a Kiwi get cast away onto Canadian shores?
Very good question. This Kiwi in 1972, on July the 9th, decided he needed to go on a working holiday around the world. So he contacted Pete Marwick Mitchell, or KPMG, and they said, yes, we want to employ you for minimal wage in London, England. So he went to London, England, started with them in August, and then, hello, here we've got a troubadour. And anyway,
throw money?
I started with them, and I didn't like London, England at all. It was a big crowded sort of city.
Yes.
So in April of that year, KPMG said, gee, we need some people down in Zambia. Put up my hand. So I went down to Zambia, and then came back, and I was trying to figure out, what do I really do next here? Because I met my ex-wife.
I suggest you get it quick.
So they offered me a position in the Calgary office, and I said, where the hell's Calgary?
Some of us have said that.
I said, oh my God, it's inland.
Well, you go to Zambia, and then you go a long way from there.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's buried under snow, so we're not sure ourselves.
Yeah. So I said, I'd really rather go to Vancouver. They said, everybody wants to go to Vancouver, so you can't go to Vancouver. You can go to Toronto, and I thought, shit, no, that's not my style. So 1975, Calgary was absolutely booming, totally booming, and they just couldn't get accountants, you know, in Calgary.
Meantime, you can't get the salt water out of your blood. You have this yearning, this passion, this need, this
Cannot
having
get
to
it
go
out.
to salt water.
I've got part wine and part salt water.
Yes, you do. So how do you get that through your system?
You drink it, not the salt water, the wine.
But you want to get on the water. So
Well, yeah.
there's
So
a passion to get a boat.
in 04 I bought Tula, and in 07 I bought a townhouse in Sydney, very near the marina, very near. And my plan was at that time, I'd been fairly unsuccessful in love, of course, so my plan was to...
I'm sorry, that's
I
another...
tried.
That was a good one, Peter.
There was a hell of a lot of candidates, but I tell you, none of them
Oh,
really,
that was a good one.
most of them scared shitless when it got to 30 knots. They were
That's
scared
right, yeah.
shitless.
That's another chapter. Yeah, we'll cover that
We'll
next
We'll cover
year.
that later.
As soon
Yeah.
as he tied
So anyway, in
up, you couldn't
04
see
I
them for
bought,
dust.
yeah, I bought the boat. Then in 07, and I've been commuting out from Calgary.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
We were fortunate to have some clients who I was able to overservice by flying out initially once a month, every 2 weeks, every week. So on WestJet, I then decided I needed to move my whole house on WestJet. In those days, they didn't really have much in the way of baggage restrictions, so I creatively moved most of my house from Calgary to Sydney. And my plan was to live in this townhouse, which was brainless living because I didn't have any lawns to mow or anything ridiculous like that. So what sort of threw a spanner in the works was Michelle, this wonderful, wonderful woman in my life, who I met later in 07, and she said, you know, I have this incredible property now, which has a 200-degree view of Haro Strait and looks across to San Juan Island. And so I went there and thought, shit, this is not a bad property for a sailor, right? And so every day, so we decided, do we build, her house was falling down, okay, it was a little shack, and do we sell this lot at a pretty decent profit to her, or do I put in cash to build a house and she contributes the lot, and away we go. We've done that.
So
I'm lucky enough to live with a panoramic view of the ocean, 130 feet up, so global warming or tsunamis will never be a problem.
you're all set.
All
So
set.
why AilSail? Because you've also been involved with the bluewater sail group. You've been involved in a number of other things. Why AilSail on top of all of that?
One reason, camaraderie.
Tell me more.
Camaraderie. Guys I like,
And the
guys
and the sheer volume of liquor.
well, you know, that's partly it, but I mean, I'm not really a party animal. Okay, I'm not really.
Yeah.
Despite what,
What?
despite what he's going to say, I
Bite
am not
your
a party
tongue.
animal.
So tell me
But,
more about the camaraderie, because I think I agree with you. That's a very important part
You
of
know,
AilSail.
I'm a member at Bluewater, and although I've sort of faded away a little bit with Bluewater, you know, I think it's just nice to hang around for 8 days with people and just talk about boats. You know,
You have a
it's
lot
great.
of repeat people that you know coming back again and again. Some own boats, some charter boats,
Right.
some are just passengers that just love to do it. Would that be fair to say?
It's absolutely fair
Yep.
to say. And, you know, my idea in 04 was to become a really good mariner. That was my, you know, I spent 30 years indulging in the Income Tax Act and decided that in retirement or
Yep.
in semi-retirement, there was no way that I was even, and I was offered positions in Victoria and, you know, Vancouver and everything to do cross-border
Yep.
tax. I wanted to somehow become a good mariner, not a great mariner, we're always learning, but I wanted to become a great mariner, or a good mariner, I should say. And so I thought the easiest way to do it was to start to learn how to instruct, you know, cruising.
You are an instructor.
I am a
You
sail.
take people out for, I suspect, a week.
5
cruise
days,
and learn?
five,
Yep, 5
5
days.
6 days,
Yes.
5 days typically. Monday to Friday we go out. In fact, Laura Brennan and her daughter are coming out next week, and They'll come out on Monday, and we'll sail around. We'll cruise, and
Yep.
round the Gulf Islands, or around as far as Souk.